Hey guys, welcome to 1 Hour Flow with me, Yaffa. It's my first time on the YouTube platform doing this live, so hope it's working out. For today's practice, I just want to keep in mind, we just had a new moon. So what does that mean? New moon symbolizes rebirth or anew. And it's also in the nighttime, it's also some of the darkest nights that we have because there's no moon beaming down on us. So it's a good time for reflection, to reconnect with ourselves, get back in touch with our inner voice, and you can have some rebirth in this period as well, by creating, culminating, refocusing your energy into whatever it is that you're creating. So think about that while you're moving through today's sequence, and what are you culminating? What are you cultivating? And what seeds are you planting for your future or for your now even? So we'll get started on our backs. So lay down, take up as much space as you need, and shift around a little bit to get to a point where you can just find some stillness. And we'll start by doing a body scan. So beginning from the crown of the head and just moving down the ears, the face, and the neck. And continuing to move down the chest and the shoulders, the collarbones. Moving down the arms, the shoulders, elbows, forearms, and fingertips. And moving all around to the underarms, the ribs, abdomen, pelvis. Moving down the hips, the thighs, the front and back of the thighs, the knees, the shins and calves, the ankles and feet, and the tips of your toes. And just notice the breath. And then allow that awareness to move from the tips of the toes all the way back up towards the crown of the head. And notice your breath. And then start to bring some movement into your fingers and your toes. And gently bring the knees into your chest and give yourself a squeeze. Maybe rock from side to side, massaging out the low back. And then we'll take a happy baby. So grabbing the outside edges of your feet with the hands. Arms are on the insides of the knees. And then bring the feet positioned up towards the ceiling. So the bottoms of the feet are positioned upward, and you're pulling your feet in towards you. Moving towards bringing the knees into your armpits. And see if you can relax the shoulders here. Relax the low back down onto the ground. And see if you can push the feet or press the heels up towards the sky a little bit more. And maybe bend into one leg and straighten the other. And get into a rocking motion here. So bending in one leg and then straightening the other. You can kind of rock from side to side while you're doing this. Just warming up the hamstrings. Just warming up the backs of the legs. And then allow the feet to come back down on the ground. Your knees are bent. And just pick the hips up slightly and move the hips over towards the right, and then bring the hips down to the ground. And allow the knees to fall over towards the left. So just opening up through the right side body. Really extend the arms out into a T position. You can allow the gaze to follow towards your right fingertips. And take a couple nice deep breaths here. Just softening through the right side body. Opening up through the ribs. With each inhale, you're softening. And with each exhale, you're able to twist a little bit deeper. Just take one more breath here. And allow your next inhale to bring the knees up through center. Bring the feet back down to the ground. Pick the hips up and shift them over towards the left. And then bring the hips back down to the ground. So the knees come into the chest and allow the knees to fall over towards the right. You can extend the arms out long and your gaze can follow towards the left fingertips. And take some deep breaths in here, inhaling and exhaling. Your inhale is softening and opening up through the left side body. And your exhale allows you to twist a little bit deeper. Take one more breath here. And your next inhale brings your knees up through center. Bring the feet down to the ground and just straighten up the back. And then bring the knees into the chest. Take the hands, place them behind the backs of the thighs, and just start to rock and roll up and down your mat. So you're massaging the whole spine here, from the shoulders all the way to the base of the spine. And just rocking up and down. See if you can press the belly button back towards the spine, give you some more control. And then come into a seated position. You can have your legs crossed, whatever's comfortable here. And find a nice tall spine. Your chin is parallel to the ground here. And just shrug your shoulders up and down the back. Do that 2 more times. So shrug the shoulders up and allow them to fall back into a neutral position. 1 more time. Shrug the shoulders up and down. You can place the hands on the knees. Just allow the arms to be relaxed. And just drop the right ear to the right shoulder. And gently drop the chin down towards the chest. Nice and controlled. And then allow the left ear to come over towards the left shoulder. Just moving with control here and opening up in the neck. And then from the left ear on the left shoulder, just allow the chin to gently come back towards the chest, bringing the right ear back towards the right shoulder. And again, you can just roll that neck from side to side. Moving with control. Nice and easy. And make sure you even out your sides. And then find yourself in the middle and gently raise your head up to center line. And just close your eyes here for a moment. Place one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. And just notice the breath. Notice if you're breathing more into your chest or your belly. Notice if the inhale is the same length as the exhale. And then begin to send your next inhale more into the abdomen. So really fill up through the belly. And then this next exhale, really press the belly button back towards the spine, really breathing all the air out here. Your next inhale, fill all the way up, softening through the abdomen, expanding through the belly. And your next exhale, press the belly button back towards the spine, really expel all the air out. Then your next inhale, send your in-breath all the way to the base of the spine. And then exhaling from the base of the spine out of the nose. And then just breathe normal. Just come back to the breath. Nice, easy breath. And bring your hands to heart center. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, or maybe you'd like to dedicate your practice to someone or something, It's a good time to do so. I'll offer the intention of compassion and kindness for ourselves and others. And then roll over onto your hands and knees. We'll find ourselves in a table position. We'll be here for just a moment. Just get your alignment set up. So shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Be sure to put a little bit more weight in the pointer finger and the thumb. And find a nice long spine here, gazes down. And then bring the big toes to touch. Your knees come wide. Sink the hips back, child's pose. So really extend through the fingertips. Bring the forehead down to the mat. Really reach the hips back towards the heels. Melt the chest down towards the mat. Relax the head. Forehead is down on the mat. Maybe look side to side. Just releasing any tension out of the neck. And then reach the fingertips forward. Give you a little bit of a more stretch here. Send your breath into the back body. Nice deep inhales here, filling up. And nice long exhales, emptying out. Now walk your hands over off of your mat. So left hand comes off of the left side of the mat. Right hand comes on top of the left hand. Press the right hand firmly into the left and reach the right hip back. Your forehead is down on the ground. And send your breath to the right side body. Keep reaching back with the right hip. Keep pushing down with the right hand. Take 2 more breaths here. Filling up and emptying out. Nice deep inhale. Nice long exhale. And then walk the right hand all the way off the right side of the mat. Left hand comes on top of the right. Reach the left hip back and press the left hand firmly into the right. Opening up through the left side body here. Really send your breath into the left ribs, softening through the ribs. Your forehead is down on the mat. Nice full inhales and full exhales. Take 1 more breath here. And then come back through center. Reach the fingertips out in front of you. Really sink the hips back towards the heels. And then come up into a table position. Just passing through here. Find your alignment. And then begin to press the mat away. Tuck the chin down to your chest and curl the tailbone under. Press the belly button back up towards the spine. On your inhale, drop the belly. Collarbones are spread. The gaze is up. And then tuck the toes under and start to press the ground away. Lift the knees and sink the hips up towards the sky for downward dog. Take 3 breaths here. You can pedal out the feet while you're here. It's your first downward dog of practice. You can have the knees bent a lot. Really press into the hands. Relax the head. Nice full breaths. Keep reaching the sits bones up towards the sky. And then bring the knees down to the mat. Big toes come to touch. Knees come wide. Sink the hips back. Child's pose. Forehead comes down to the mat. Reach the fingertips in front of you. And take 3 breaths here. Really breathe into that back body. Folding and tuning back into yourself here. Nice full inhales. And complete exhales. And then come up into a table position. Again, just passing through here, find your alignment. Start to press the ground away. Curl the tailbone in, tuck the chin to the chest. Belly button lifts up. And on your inhale, spread the collarbones wide. Sits bones reach up to the sky. Gaze is up. And then start to tuck the toes under. Begin to press the mat away and lift the knees. Lift the hips up towards the sky. You can have the knees bent here a little bit. Maybe the heels are lifted up off the ground. You can pedal the feet out, or maybe find some stillness in this posture, whatever you need. Relax the head. Press the ground away from you. Shoulder blades are down the back. Take one more breath here. And the knees come down to the ground. Big toes come to touch. Bring the knees out a little bit wider. Sink the hips back. Fingertips reach out. Forehead comes down to the ground. Child's pose. And take 3 breaths here. Keep reaching the hips back towards the heels. Keep reaching the fingertips out in front of you. And keep breathing. Take one more breath here. And find your tabletop position. Just passing through here. And then begin to press the ground away. Tuck the chin under. Tailbone curls in. On your inhale, drop the belly. Sits bones reach up. Chest is forward. Gaze is up towards the sky. And then begin to tuck the toes under. Push the ground away. Lift the knees. Reach the sits bones up towards the sky. Downward dog. And take 3 breaths here. Nice full inhales. Full exhales. And then come down to your knees, table position. And from your table position, find your alignment here. And then just bend the elbows all the way down. So you're on your forearms in like a modified table position on your forearms. And then press into the hands and come up with straight arms. Good. We'll do that 2 more times. So bring the elbows down so forearms are down on the mat. Spine is nice and long. And then press the hands into the mat. Straight arms. One more time. Bend the elbows. And then come up into your regular table position. And step back into a plank pose. So arms or shoulders are stacked on top of wrists. Spine is nice and long. You're up on the balls of your feet. Your heels are reaching up towards the sky. Push the ground away even more. Lift the kneecaps. Press the belly button back towards the spine. And then we're simply going to come down onto our forearms. Yes, forearm plank. Keep the belly button pressing back towards the spine. The spine is nice and long. Take one more breath here. And then bring the hips down for Sphinx pose. So for your Sphinx pose, your elbows, shoulders, and wrists are all in a line with each other. Really press the forearms down into the mat. Shine the chest forward, okay? Keep pulling the hands in towards you. And then you're just going to drop the chin down. Gaze is down. Keep curling the chin down towards the chest. And then follow the gaze gently, gently upwards. One more just like that. Drop the chin down towards the chest, curling the chin in. And then gently allow the gaze to come up slightly. Find a neutral position with the head. And then gently gaze over the left shoulder. And then come back through center. And gently gaze over towards the right shoulder. And come back through center. One more time, gaze over the left. And then gaze over the right. Good. And finding your center. We're just going to come back up into your forearm plank for just a moment here. And then drop the knees and find your table. So in your table position, take the left hand, plant it underneath your face. Inhale, reach the right arm all the way up towards the sky, and then thread the right hand underneath the armpit. Right shoulder drops down. For thread the needle, you can take the left hand and walk it out in front of you. Try to square the hips here, so you may need to pull the right hip back slightly. So you can have the left arm extended out in front of you, or bring the left arm back behind you for a deeper twist, whatever feels good to you. Keep breathing here. One more inhale. And exhale, left hand plants firmly down on the ground. Inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky. And right hand comes back to the ground. We'll just switch sides. So right hand comes underneath the face. Inhale, reach the left arm up towards the sky. And then sweep the left hand underneath the right armpit. Left shoulder comes down to the ground. You can have the left ear come down to the ground and then reach and extend the right hand out in front of you. And go for square hips here, so even out the hips by reaching the left hip back slightly. If you went for the behind the back the last time, you can take the right hand and reach it back behind you. Keep breathing. Keep sending your breath into any areas of tension. And then the right hand comes down on the mat. Inhale, reach the left arm up towards the sky and come back into your table position. From your table position, tuck the toes under, lift the knees up off the ground just a couple inches, and then bring the knees back down to the ground. And then again, with the toes tucked, bring the knees up and keep reaching the hips all the way back up towards the sky for downward dog. Walk the feet in just one footprint and take a wide stance. So it's a short, wide-legged downward dog. Continue to reach the sits bones up towards the sky. Relax the head. Let the head dangle and press through the hands. Take a couple breaths here. Continue to reach the sits bones up. Press the belly button back. The spine is nice and long. And then get really high up on your tippy toes. And then just tiptoe feet to hands. So your feet come in between the hands. And then really drape the body, the top of your body, over the bottom half of the body. Glue the tops of your thighs to your torso. You can bend the knees a lot here. Let the head go. Really dangle the head. Can nod the head yes. Shake the head no. Maybe grab for opposite elbows. You can sway side to side. And then switch the grip with your hands. And just continue to sway side to side. Gently releasing out the spine. And you can take the right hand, place it firmly on the ground. Keep the right leg bent, straighten-ish through the left. Inhale, reach the left arm up towards the sky. Spine is nice and tall. Your gaze is slightly upward. And exhale, left hand comes down to the ground. Firmly plant the left hand underneath your face. Straighten-ish through the right leg. Keep a nice deep bend in the left. Inhale, right arm comes up towards the sky. Nice tall spine. Keep twisting open. Gaze is slightly up towards the right fingertips. And then right hand comes back down to the ground. And start to roll up into a standing position, just stacking one vertebrae on top of the next. Growing nice and tall. Coming up into your mountain pose. Your head and shoulders come last. When you arrive in your mountain position, shrug your shoulders up and down. And one more up and down. And then find some stillness. Your hips, knees, and ankles and feet are all in line with one another, nice and tall, from your heels all the way up your legs, zipping up through the belly. Your chest is broad, chin parallel to the ground, palms facing forward. Maybe close your eyes here. Notice how strong you are in this position here. Notice your balance. Maybe rock forward and back, side to side, and just notice the ease of the floor beneath you supporting you. And then blink your eyes open. Reach the arms up overhead and grab for opposite elbows here. Really plug the shoulders into one another. Press the head slightly back and then lean over towards the left. Gaze is up towards the sky. Keep leaning over towards the left. Get a nice side body stretch. And then come up through center and just switch sides. Begin to lean over towards the right. Gaze is slightly up towards the sky. Nice side body stretch here. And then inhale up through center. Reach the arms up overhead. Forward fold. And then step the right leg back behind you. Drop the back knee. Low runner's lunge. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. Keep the right arm reaching up towards the sky. Left hand comes back behind the right thigh. Keep reaching that right arm up. And then left hand comes up to meet the right. And we're just going to pop up off that back knee into crescent lunge. So lift the knee up, crescent lunge. Find your stability here. Keep zipping up through the abdomen. Spine is nice and tall. Back leg is really nice and strong. Reach the fingertips up. And then place both hands down on the ground to frame the front foot. Walk the back foot up for a shortened stance, pyramid pose. Inhale to grow the spine nice and tall. Exhale, fold all the way over that front leg. Go for square hips here. So you may need to reach the left hip back slightly. You can have a slight bend in the front leg. This is a nice deep stretch for the hamstring. Let the head go, relax the head here. Really just melt into the stretch. One more breath. And both hands plant down on the ground. Step back into downward dog. Right foot comes up between the hands. Drop the back knee, low runner's lunge. Set yourself up here. Find your stability. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Zip up through the abdomen. Really reach the fingertips up towards the sky. Left arm stays reaching. Right arm comes back behind the left thigh. Keep reaching through the left arm. Look up to your fingertips. And then right hand comes up to reach towards the sky. And then we're going to pop up off that back knee, crescent lunge. Nice strong back leg. Zipping up through the abdomen. Keep reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. Got a 90-degree bend in the front knee. One more inhale. Exhale, both hands come down to frame the front foot. And just walk that back foot in for a shortened stance for your pyramid pose. Inhale to grow taller in the spine. And exhale, fold over that front leg. You can have a micro bend in the front leg. Relax the head. And start to reach the right hip back slightly. So you can go for square hips. You should feel that in the back of the thigh. Take one more breath here. And left foot steps up to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead and grab for opposite elbows up over top of your head again. Press the head back into the arms and lean over towards the right. Your gaze is up towards the sky. Hips are reaching slightly towards the left. And then inhale to come up through center. And exhale, lean the top body over towards the left. Gaze is up towards the sky. Really plug those shoulders in. And inhale, come up through center. Reach the arms all the way up overhead. And forward fold on your exhale. Step the right foot back. Drop the back knee for your runner's lunge. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. Keep that right hand lifting. Left hand comes back behind the right thigh. Keep reaching with the right arm. And then sweep the left arm up while coming up into your crescent lunge. Think nice strong back leg. 90-degree bend in the front leg. Zip up through the belly. Keep reaching those fingertips up. Both hands come down to frame the front foot. Walk the back foot in slightly. Pyramid pose. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Let the head dangle. Reach the left hip slightly back. Really melt into the front leg. Plant both hands firmly down into the ground and then step back into your downward dog. Right foot comes up in between the hands. Low runner's lunge, drop the back knee. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. Keep reaching through the fingertips. Right hand comes back behind the left thigh. Keep reaching the left hand up towards the sky. Maybe your gaze is up towards the left fingertips. On your inhale, sweep the right arm up. Come up into your crescent lunge. The back leg is nice and firm. Your front leg is bent at a 90-degree angle. Zip up through the belly. And exhale, both hands come down to frame the front foot. Step the back foot in slightly. Pyramid pose. Inhale to come up with a tall spine. Exhale, fold. Relax the head. Keep reaching the right hip back slightly. See if you can put more weight into the back foot. See if you can even out the weight. And let the spine be nice and long. And then step the left foot up to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale. Reach the arms all the way up. And grab for opposite elbows. Press the head back in towards the arms. And then reach the top body over towards the left. Shine the chest up towards the sky. Gaze is up towards the sky. Inhale to come up with a straight spine. And exhale. The top body leans over towards the right. Shine the chest up towards the sky. Take one more breath. And come up into a tall spine. Reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Step the left foot back. Drop the back knee, low runner's lunge. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. Keep reaching through the fingertips. Sweep the right hand back behind the left thigh. Continue to reach up with the left fingertips. On your inhale, sweep the right arm up. Come up off the back knee, crescent lunge. Zip up through the belly. Spine is nice and tall. There's a 90-degree bend in the front leg. The back leg is nice and strong. Plant the hands down to frame the front foot and walk the back foot in slightly. Pyramid pose. Inhale to grow the spine tall. Exhale, fold over your front leg. Allow the head to dangle. Keep squaring the hips here. Take one more inhale. And exhale, step back into your downward dog. Good. And then left foot comes up between the hands. Drop the back knee. Low runner's lunge. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. Keep reaching the fingertips up. Left hand comes back behind the right thigh. Continue to reach through the right fingertips. Gaze is up slightly. And then on your inhale, sweep the left arm up. Come up off of that back knee. Crescent lunge. Your back leg is nice and firm, strong and straight. The front knee is bent at a 90 degree. Keep reaching through the fingertips, maybe gaze up towards the fingertips. And then place the hands around the front foot and walk the back foot in slightly. Pyramid pose. Inhale to come up halfway. And exhale, fold over that front leg. Take a couple breaths here. Relax the head. Square the hips. And then step the right foot up to meet the left. Forward fold. Inhale. Reach the arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, hands come through heart center. Maybe close the eyes here. Just take a moment. Notice what it feels like to have been moving. Notice your heart rate. Notice your breath. Maybe come back to your intention. And then come onto your knees. So hero's pose for just a moment. So tuck the toes under and you're beyond your knees. Sit back onto your heels. You can take the hands down onto the ground. So fingertips facing towards you, palms on the ground for a forearm stretch. The further away your arms are from you, the more intense this will be. So you can just walk your hands in towards you for a gentle stretch or walk them away from you for more intensity. Whatever you need here. Just a little bit of a cool down here. See if you can reach the hips back slightly. Keep your spine nice and long. And then if you'd like, you can go for a variation, walking the hands all the way back behind you. And keep the toes tucked under. And you can slightly lift the hips. And keep walking the hands back. Maybe you drop the head. Maybe you keep the chin tucked. Take 2 more breaths here wherever you are. And then gently, gently, gently come into a table position for just a moment and tap the feet out. Bring some blood flow back into those feet. All right, and then finding our way back onto our knees. So on our knees, you can have your toes tucked under. Just take the right leg, step it out beside you. So nice straight leg. Right hand comes down the outside of the right leg. Inhale, reach the left arm all the way up and overhead. Press the hips forward. Shine the chest up towards the sky. Should feel a nice opening in the left hip there. Take 1 more breath here. Left hand comes down beside you. So your left hand, left knee, and right foot are in alignment. And inhale, reach the right arm all the way up towards the sky. Modified side plank. If you'd like to go for more, put more weight into the right foot. Step the left foot back to meet the right for side plank. Keep reaching the hips up towards the sky. Keep looking up towards the fingertips. If you'd like a variation, you can lift the top leg up. Maybe go for tree pose with the top leg. And you can even step the right foot back behind you for a wild thing. And reach the top arm up overhead. 1 more breath wherever you are. And then come out of it just the way you came in. Left knee comes down on the ground. And then come on to your knees. So we'll just switch sides there. So come back into on your knees, hips are forward, and then step the left leg out beside you. Left hand comes down the left leg. Inhale, reach the right arm all the way up overhead. Chest spins up towards the sky. Feel a nice stretch in that right side body, that right hip. Keep pressing the hips forward. And on the exhale, right hand comes down on the ground. So right hand, right knee, left foot are in alignment. Inhale, reach the left arm up towards the sky. You can stay here if you want to go for a little bit more. Put more weight into the left foot. Step the right foot to meet the left. Keep reaching the hips up towards the sky. Keep reaching the left arm up. Maybe go for a variation. You can lift the top leg up. Maybe go for tree pose. And if you'd like, you can step the left leg back behind you for wild thing. Opening up through the chest. Lean the head back. Take one more breath here. And to come out of it, find your way back to side plank. Drop the knee and come onto your knees. And just take a seat on your heels. Hands come on to the tops of your thighs. Tuck the chin slightly and just close your eyes for a moment. Tune inward. Notice the breath. Just notice the heart rate. Notice what it feels like. And then come up, lift the hips up. So we're going to stay on our knees here, tuck the toes. We're going to do some dancing camel. So for dancing camel, left hand comes back towards the left heel. Inhale, reach the right arm up towards the sky. On your exhale, drop the forehead down towards the ground, sink the hips back. Right hand comes onto the right heel. Inhale, press the hips forward. Reach the left fingers up towards the sky. And on your exhale, sink the hips back. Forehead comes down. Then left hand comes towards the heel. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. Continue to move like this on your own breath. We'll take 3 more, just like this. Sink the hips back, forehead comes down. Then left hand meets the right heel. Reach the right hands up towards the sky. And just keep moving like this. Moving on your own breath. Really expanding. Moving with the breath and contracting. And be sure to even out your sides. And then find some stillness. So bring the big toes to touch whenever you're complete with your dancing camel. Knees come out wide and find child's pose. And just tune into yourself. Start to slow down the breath. Keep reaching the hips back towards the heels. Sink the chest down towards the mat. And reach the fingertips out in front of you. Slowing down the breath. And tuning inward. And then gently come up into a seated position with your legs out in front of you. Move the flesh out from underneath your sits bones. Reach the legs out in front of you. Find a nice tall spine. Reach the arms all the way up overhead and then forward folds over your legs. Hands land anywhere. Really just curl into yourself here. Releasing out through the low back. And stretching out in the hamstrings. If you feel any pulling in the knees, just bend the knees a little bit. You want to feel this either in the thighs or maybe in the back, but not behind the knees. And take 3 breaths here. And start to walk your hands in towards you, coming up with a straight back. Bend your right knee in towards you and kind of extend the left leg out. We'll go for a side bend. So you can take the left hand and place it behind the left knee. Inhale, reach the right arm up overhead. So kind of lean back here. You can walk the hand back further just to know what that feels like, or in closer. Keep breathing. Keep shining that chest up towards the sky. One more breath here. And then come back through center. We'll just switch sides. So straighten out the right leg. The left knee bends. And right hand comes back behind the right knee. Inhale, reach the left arm all the way up overhead. Maybe walk the right hand back a little bit more even. Shine the chest up towards the sky. And breathe. And then find your center. And we'll do legs up the wall here if you have that option. If you don't have a wall nearby, you can take your hands and place them underneath your sits bones, or maybe a blanket, whatever you have. If you have a wall available, go ahead and take your legs up the wall for a nice gentle inversion. With your legs up the wall or however you are positioned, just close your eyes. Allow the blood flow to go from your feet back towards the body. We're upright so much, so going upside down like this is good. Nice to bring the circulation back in a different way. Allow the fluid from the low body to come back in. And just close the eyes, relax here. Take 2 more breaths just like this. And then gently bring the feet back down towards the ground. You can bring your knees in towards you. Give yourself a squeeze. Tuck the chin towards the chest. And then allow the head to come back down towards the ground. And you can let the knees fall over towards the left, or whatever other variation of a twist you would like to take. Extend the arms out long. Really surrender here. Really melt into this posture. Take all of the effort out and just relax. Take 2 more breaths. And your next inhale brings you up through center, and then just allow the knees to fall over towards the right. Extend the arms out long. Your gaze follows your left fingers. Close the eyes here. And really just surrender in this posture. Notice the ground supporting you beneath you. Notice the ease of this posture. And your next inhale brings your knees up through center. And go for happy baby. Just grabbing the outside edges of the feet. Maybe you go for a stationary position, or maybe you go for more of a rocking posture here. Whatever feels good for you. And then bring your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins, tuck your chin, squeeze everything in. Squeeze your toes in towards one another, crunch your face. Really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze everything in. And then on your exhale, go into your Shavasana pose. Really extend everything out long. You'll be here for 5 minutes. Really take up as much space as you need. In your Shavasana, this is the most important posture of the entire practice. You will get the best benefits from this posture if you simply do not move. You can notice the sounds around you. Notice the ground beneath you. Notice the air on your skin. Notice the sounds closest to you. There is very little difference between burying and planting, for often we need to put dead things to rest so that new life can grow. And further, the one thing to put to rest, whether it be a loved one, a dream, or a false way of seeing, becomes the fertilizer for the life about to form. As the well used things joined with the earth, the old love fertilizes the new. The broken dream fertilizes the dream yet conceived. The painful way of being that strapped us to the world fertilizes the freer inner stance about to unfold. There is always grief for what is lost, and always surprise at what is to be born. For every new way of being, there is a failed attempt mulching beneath the tongue. For every sprig that breaks surface, there is an old stick stirring the ground. We live, embrace, and put to rest our dearest things, including how we see ourselves, so we can resurrect our lives anew. Begin to bring some movement into your fingers and your toes. And allow those movements to grow greater, moving into your wrists and ankles. Maybe take a full body stretch, reaching the arms all the way up overhead, reaching from the toes all the way to the fingertips. And roll over onto your favorite side, keeping your eyes closed. And when you feel ready, come into a seated position. Bring your palms to heart center, prayer position. Your gaze is closed, your eyes are closed, your gaze is down. Bowing to ourselves and bowing to this practice, bowing to each other. And bring your thumbs up towards your forehead so you may think with a clear mind. And bring your thumbs towards your lips so you may speak words of truth. And bring your thumbs to heart center so you may live with an open heart. Namaste, yogis. Thank you for practicing.